What is going on, you guys? Welcome to Midnight Run. We're a little bit earlier today. 10 o'clock Pacific time. 1 o'clock Eastern. I hope that music's not too loud. If it is, let me know, because I tried to lower it this time so it's not too powerful. It doesn't overcome my voice. I got to be able to talk. But guys, welcome to the show. So yes, we're going to talk about a few things here. Okay. We're going to talk about James Gunn and the shit he's doing. Love him or hate him, he has done something that has kind of changed the game a bit, and I think that it's having an effect on a lot of these bloggers and grifters, scoopers, the fake scoopers, all those guys. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. We're going to talk about the new promos, posters, all that shit that got put up for The Flash, including one that got put out a few minutes ago from the Flash Film News. It's very close to the production of The Flash, okay? We're also going to talk about The Last of Us, Episode 5. I'm going to be joined by Axel Droga, hopefully in a few minutes here. I don't know where the fuck he's at, but, it is what it is. Why this shit closed? There we go. But anyway, we're also going to talk about the whole rumors about George Clooney possibly being in The Flash and possibly being the new DCU Batman, which I'm going to say right now, that's bullshit. And James Gunn has already said that is bullshit. But I knew it was bullshit from the start, because there's no way that you're going to bring a 61-year-old George Clooney as your new DCU Batman. That makes zero fucking sense. 0 sense. And so James Gunn debunked that shit. And rightfully so. It was an absolute... It's complete stupidity what people will put out there just to get clout, just to get traction on some bullshit news, because they have nothing to go off of. Nothing. However, when it comes to George Clooney, there is a little bit of something going on there. So we're going to talk about that as well, because there is something to be said about what's happening with George Clooney. And I think I have the answer of why he's even in the equation of The Flash. In The Flash. Because, I mean, really, it's like, well, why would you do, why would he be in The Flash if you already have Michael Keaton? You see what I'm saying? Like, that makes zero sense, but there is some... there is something to that, though. Okay? And we're going to go over the tweets from James Gunn that recently he talked about Netflix not being interested in purchasing the Snyderverse isn't even an IP, so you can't even sell that. It would have to be a massive contract in order to do so. Oh, now he's heading home. Okay. There we go. So he'll be here shortly. But hey, thank you, Droga. Thank you for coming through with that. So I won't talk about Last of Us yet. I'm going to wait until he gets here. What's up, Venom? How you doing, buddy? We got Fear Jason as well. What's going on, man? And guys, smash the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Join the Patreon to help support the channel. Become a member of the channel as well. But we're going to kind of move forward a bit, okay? So let me pull this up real fast. Okay, so James Gunn tweeted out about the hashtag sell ZSJL to Netflix, which, look, I've said it before. There are good people that are a part of this hashtag event, movement, if you want to call it that. But there are a lot of people that I don't really care for or have respect for that are really a major part of this. So for me, I have not really been on board in terms of like full support for this, because there's some individuals that I just don't get along with, and I'm not going to bandwagon with a hashtag event that I'm not fully behind. However, I will support it because there are people that are a part of this that are really good people out there and that are trying their damnedest to get the attention of Netflix, hopefully. And so because of that, I am going to give them a bit of support because, like I said, there's people that are part of this that I have a lot of respect for and that I like a lot. So then there was that. Okay. One thing I do want to bring up, which let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Today is the birthday of Mrs. Karen Fukuhara, as you saw her here as Katana in Suicide Squad. You can say all the shit you want. You just gotta get down here. Just gotta get down here. Because right now I'm riding solo, and I wasn't counting on that, but it's all good. Karen Fukuhara, birthday today. She kills it in The Boys. And this is from Jesse Allen. So right on, Jesse. Big shout out to Jesse Allen, the good supporter in the chat. Making his way all the way. Oh, God. You didn't have to do this, okay? I just said from The Boys, Matt. I was like, yeah, he kills it in The Boys. Your wife, okay. And then here's Axel from the car.
Hey, guys, what's up? Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. Yeah.
If you would have told me that you were going to be late, I would have postponed it until you got home.
Oh, really?
It looks like you're in a green screen. Where are you?
No, I'm just,
Are you even driving?
No, I'm not driving.
You're parked?
Yeah, I'm parked. I'm waiting for someone.
Where are you? Are you in a Costco?
No.
Where are
No, it's a funny fucking story. No, I'm just, waiting for someone.
Are you in a parked car?
No, I'm not doing parkour yet.
Oh, God.
Yes. So yeah, who's in the chat? We got Venom, we got Jason, we got Ziva Fett's son. Who else?
Ziva Fett's son, yeah. The son of Ziver.
The son of Ziva Fett.
Okay, so it's not even his car. It's not his car. He's doing Uber. Yeah, that's what
I am not doing an Uber. Relax, Venom.
It looks like you're on a set of a movie because it's green behind you. It's like Where are you? Where are you right now?
I'm just under because I'm in like a parking lot. I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm just waiting for someone. He's just yeah.
All right, man. Well, you enjoy yourself.
Oh, I will.
Are you gonna go home or are you gonna go out and party now?
No, I'm waiting for someone to drive me.
Do you not drive?
No, I don't drive.
Why don't you drive?
I don't know. I was going to. And, okay.
What's the legal driving age in Australia?
Wait, hold on. I gotta go. My brother's just giving birth. Hold up.
All right, anyway. Okay, so let's go to some of the promo art of The Flash. So here it is right here. This is the poster that was put out just the other day from the actual studio, which I thought was really cool. I actually liked it. It looks like the Batwing is ready to fall and decapitate him like its final destination. But, I mean, still, I think it's a cool image. I like the lighting of it. I like how the Flash logo isn't as bright and vibrant. It's more kind of has like this metallic look to it, a little darker. And it just looks more of a serious tone as opposed to what we saw in the past. So I think this is a really cool poster. And yeah, Venom, saying Batman heavy. The movie was always going to be Batman heavy. I mean, you literally have two different Batman in the movie. You have Affleck and Keaton. And according to some, you're going to have a third Batman in the movie as well, which we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. Okay, Ryan. Hey, your dad said the same thing. That looks like the other picture, just a different pose. But regardless, I think it's a cool image, though. I actually really dig it. So that one I was actually a big fan of. I thought that came out really good. And like I said, it gives it more of a serious tone, which is cool. But we have some new promo art that was what is this? Oh yeah, that. We have some new art. Where did it go? Oh, I must have. Is this it? Nope. Anyway, we have some new promo art that got put out today. Let me go ahead and pull that up right now. And let's see. Let's pull it up right now. Okay, so here it is. This is the new art. This is dropped by the Flash Film News. And you can see here, this is a whole new image of, let me see. Hold on, let me change up the song a little bit. Okay, so here's a new image that has a new image of Michael Keaton's Batman along with the Flash. So now we get a different look at Batman's suit. He still doesn't seem like he can turn his head. But there is Batman. There is the Michael Keaton Batman, which we know now will not be the Batman of the future of the DCU. James Gunn is going to cast a new actor, likely a younger actor, a better actor. Keaton looks badass. Yeah, I think he looks pretty badass. I mean, this is a great, every production photo will always look better than what we see on the set. The images that we see of him on set will always look like shit because it's not the finished product. I mean, most of you guys are aware of that. But the new trailer for The Flash is premiering this Sunday, tomorrow, during the Super Bowl at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, I want to say, or Pacific. I forgot which one it was. But they're going to drop that, and that's going to be pretty cool. I want to see how that turns out. I mean, we've only seen the one trailer. And even that was fucking felt like a year ago we got that trailer. Oh, send me a link. Okay, yeah, I'll send you a link. Let me see. But yeah, we got that one trailer like almost a year ago, and so he's on. Hold on, there we go. There, I sent you a link. Oh, now I got your other DM right here on my phone or my watch. And then again, we have another image, which is another look at Sasha Calle's Supergirl and another look at the young Barry, who has the stupid ass Batman suit that he's painted red with the elbow pads and knee pads and all that shit, which really wouldn't prevent you from getting hurt because you're moving at such a high rate of speed. Those would just like fall apart. But anyway, pretty cool though. They just dropped this at midnight, the Flash Film News, and obviously they've had a bunch of these promo images kind of lined up, and they kind of put these together. So this is pretty cool. But yeah, here's another look at young Barry. Zeever's better half. Oh my god, you're not even fucking like at your computer.
I'm not.
Are you at home?
Yeah, I'm home.
I'm
not at the Zeever cave.
Oh, you're not there.
Yeah,
Okay, I was gonna say, fuck, he's lurking in the background somewhere.
No, I'm not over there right now.
Is your computer over there?
Yeah, I moved my PC over there recently.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I thought he would have been here because it's the weekend.
I know. He's like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call him right now.
Okay.
Hold on. What's this?
He's probably knocked out. He hasn't even bothered me today.
Let's see. Hold on. I talked to him a little while ago. See, we're gonna call him right now. Here we go. Can you hear that?
No, I can't.
Hold on, it's not ringing.
Oh, there it is.
All right, we're calling Ryan Zeverfett right now. Let's see if he wakes up.
He's getting back oriented.
He's already asleep. He's old. He's his brittle bones.
He's just staring at the phone.
All right, we'll let him sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you see these images that came out of?
No, I have not seen those. At least I saw the logo.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those images.
Yeah, so these are the new ones that got released today by Flash Film News. A much better image of Keaton as Batman, but like I said, he still looks stiff in the neck.
Oh yeah. No, he does. I mean, it's the same costume from the Batgirl pose that he did, right? It was just
yes. I want to say this is the exact same suit that he wore for Batgirl.
Yeah, it looks exactly the same.
Exactly the same. So there's that, right?
Yeah.
And then today we had some more breaking news. So let me jump to that. Well, I just stormed right past it. There it is. So this was it right here. Okay, so there was a lot of talk about George Clooney being in The Flash.
Oh, yeah, I saw your tweet. That shit's bullshit.
It's fucking garbage, right? But there is a little something to that I'm gonna talk about. But first, there was this. Okay, so Grace Randolph alluded to the fact that we're gonna get another. Oh my gosh, what's up, dude?
Fuck. Hey, what's up? What up, Ziva's better half? What up?
Are you at home? Where are you now?
I'm at home.
Anyway, so Yeah, he's in another car. If it was that quick, like if you got home that quick, you could have ran home.
That is true.
I like how you just have a flurry of images of me.
Yeah, he's got a whole folder full of you.
I know. Look at this shit. He's just gonna keep it on cycle. Oh God. That's the worst one. Oh, there you go. Steve Dawson with the middle fingers. Okay, so when it comes to George Clooney, somebody said, "Is it true you're casting George Clooney as the new main DCU Batman?" He says, "Absolutely not." And he goes,
"Yeah, thanks."
Does this mean we're still getting an actor who has already Batman? What? Or are we getting a new actor altogether? He butchered that fucking sentence. He said new actor. Okay. Now, this doesn't take away from the fact that, okay, so there is a lot of rumors that Clooney is in this movie. So if he's in this movie, I think what it's going to be is he's just going to be a cameo at the end, and that is it. Because if you have Keaton cameo at the end, then you're going to expect to see more of Michael Keaton moving forward, right?
But then we'll also expect to see a lot of, George Clooney.
Not necessarily, though, because I mean, like, I don't think that Clooney, if you show him, no one's going to expect him to come back.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. That's a good point.
I mean, I'd be shocked if he even bothered to come back. Like, that's a big shock for me.
It's fucking stupid if you ask me. But I mean, I guess if you need money, you just fuck it, right? Because look, when it comes to James Gunn, he always does some wacky, off the wall shit. So it wouldn't surprise me if he wanted this to be a surprise, where all of a sudden you see George Clooney get out of the fucking car, you know what I mean, instead of Michael Keaton. You're like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, that's gonna put people in seats.
Oh, that's gonna put butts in seats.
Batman prints money, as someone would say.
Yeah. Somebody that Matt is a very close relative to. Batman.
Yeah, he's like, Batman, he prints money. Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of people on Twitter that have seen this movie and are like, "Oh my god, it's great!" Like, why?
Oh, it's the best thing since The Dark Knight. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just, it is what it is, man. I don't know. Well, it's kind of scary because that they're doing a lot of changes to the script or to the film, and so I worry that this is going to be like another version of Justice League, where it's going to be just a big fucking pile of a big mess, right? But it sounds like most of the changes that they're making are at the end of the movie, so I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. But based on what James Gunn is saying here, George Clooney is not the new DCU Batman moving forward. But see, the problem with this is Grace Randolph decided to put this out there, and she said he could potentially be the Batman of the main DCU. And so now I'm pretty sure this is exactly what she wanted. She wanted him to say this, and then she replied with her own tweet saying, "See, I was right. I said potentially. Didn't say that he was gonna be, because when these scoopers or grifters get caught, they start using semantics to like get themselves out of trouble, right?
Using wordplay and shit.
Exactly. So, what do you guys think about this? I mean, were you ever sold on the fact that George Clooney was going to be the Batman moving forward?
Fuck no.
No, I never fucking thought that for a second. I just thought that was some bullshit. Fucking made up by fucking. What's it? Fucking Grace Randolph.
And so because of that, I'm like, okay, so this is a whole lot of bullshit. I'm not going to worry about this. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he brought him in for a cameo at the end of the movie, just to be so fucking weird, and just because I mean, at least that would establish that Barry Allen is still lost in the multiverse, right? And I think this is what it does. If you establish that he's lost in the multiverse, then you don't have to worry initially about are we going to continue on with Ezra Miller?
Yeah.
At that point, you can say, okay, he's away. So now we can start doing our movies and not have to worry about integrating the Flash back into the Justice League right away. You can bring him back whenever you want to, and it could be Ezra Miller or it could be a different actor. I mean, it doesn't matter. So that's the only reason why I think that they're going to leave him in the multiverse. it's not gonna be Grant Gustin. I'll tell you that. You know what's funny is actually.
You saw the movie. You saw the movie.
No, I had a dream that it was Grant Gustin as the Flash. I was like, what the fuck?
God.
I know this is what I dream about
It came true actually.
on TV. Yeah, he's the Flash.
Yeah, it came true.
It would surprise me if he made like a cameo, because I mean their crossovers happen with
Crossover
TV or something.
And then we got this. Oh shit! What the hell?
What?
Oh, that was. Oh, you know what? It was a. No, it jumped. Sorry. So let's go back to this. My Twitter page. Let's go back to this right here. Okay, so this is where everyone lost their fucking minds when he talked about Zack Snyder. Okay, so when he uttered the word Zack Snyder, everyone fucking flipped out.
Everyone was like, ah!
And so somebody said, sell the Snyderverse to Netflix, right? And people were like, "Oh, it's the wrong hashtag." I don't give a fuck. It's the same shit. And you notice how this guy has 4,000 followers. So, but he normally replies to people that don't. This guy has 5
accounts.
He does what I do. I look for the dumbest people and I just respond to them and start an argument. That's what I do.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, what he's doing is it's sort of smart, because he's not responding to these people that have these huge followings, right?
Yeah.
He's responding to these no-name accounts. I mean, they could be bot account, or it could be accounts that he made, who knows? But he's replying to these no-name accounts, so he doesn't really get involved in like that kind of banter. He just answers a question that is still relative. It's just not being asked by a quote unquote social media, what do you call it? Influencer, right?
Yeah.
But here, this is where everyone lost their shit. So they said, "Oh, so hashtag sells ZSL to Netflix." He says, "I have to say, this has got to be the wackiest hashtag ever since one, Netflix hasn't expressed any such interest, although we've discussed other stuff, likely Sandman, and what's the other one they have?
Lucifer.
What?
Lucifer.
Sweet Tooth.
Oh, he left. Oh, I guess I scared him off.
You scared him off. Sweet Tooth is another one,
Yeah.
So I'm sure they discussed some properties such as that. And he says, and two, Zach hasn't expressed any interest and seems to be happy doing what he's doing. And yes, we have talked too. What the fuck?
I pressed the wrong fucking button. I pulled his head.
So, so the last part of that tweet that I want to talk about was he says, Zach hasn't expressed any interest and seems to be happy doing what he's doing. And yes, we too have talked. Everyone lost their shit. Everyone's like, how can you say that Zack Snyder hasn't expressed any interest in finishing his story arc? How dare you speak for him? How dare you speak for him?
And then they use some footage of like a 2-year-old stream.
But here's the thing. Everyone flipped out about this thing. You can't put words in his mouth. How dare you fucking say that about Zack Snyder? He's liked every post. He wants to finish his story. Go fuck yourself. All this shit, right?
Yeah.
All he's saying is he hasn't expressed any interest and seems very happy. So it's a general statement. But what he's saying is that, yes, I've talked to him. Okay. So it's not like I'm just ignoring this guy, right? And people were saying he's lying. They're like, I think he's lying. I don't think he's talked to Zach. He goes, but in order to excuse that, they go, but Zach's he's too nice of a guy to call out James Gunn.
That is stupid.
I think it's stupid because it's like, how can you say that? Because when Scott Mendelson made a comment about the Zack Snyder Justice League Hallelujah trailer that leaked out before DC Fandom, Zach immediately responded to him and basically, called him out and said, yeah, thanks for responding to a leaked trailer. Like, go fuck yourself. He's of course he's called out Toby Emmerich many times. He told one of his pictures to suck it, right?
Yeah, on the Stephen Colbert's show.
Yeah, suck it, Warner Brothers.
You know what I mean? So he's done that, right?
Yeah.
When Humberto Gonzalez put out that article that the Snyder Cut was never going to happen, it's a pipe dream, it's been deaded. What did he do? He released a flurry of images that we had never seen before. One of which was the shot of Willem Dafoe, 2 different shots of him, And so he basically was showing you like, yeah, there's a lot more to this movie than you fucking think. This guy's full of shit. So if you think that James Gunn is lying, if you think he's lying and that Zack Snyder is too nice of a guy to call him out, then you're playing fucking mental gymnastics.
Yeah,
And people
literally.
were like, well, why hasn't Zack liked the image or liked the tweet? He should have liked the
He
tweet.
doesn't go on Twitter like often.
Well, it's not only that, but I mean, the guy is making a fucking movie. He's busy. He's not time for this bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want him to be on Twitter debunking James Gunn comments, debunking this and
Yeah,
no.
it's just sophomoric shit that I guess people want to happen. Like,
Now look, this puts a major blow into the whole hashtag sell the Snyderverse or ZSL to Netflix, which I still, like I said before, there are people in this in that group that I still like, that I respect, but a lot of them I don't. So I understand what they're trying to do, and hey, if it works, it works. And honestly, I hope it does work because I love to see his movies get made. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. And if it does, that's awesome, but I don't think it will. So James Gunn says, this guy, Charlie Vulture, who the fuck that is, was like, what'd you all talk about? He said, y'all. So he's probably from Texas. and he says, he contacted me to express his support about my choices. He's a great guy. Again, he seems really happy with the massive world building he's doing. And everyone's like, no, fuck you.
And like people say that, oh, James Gunn has lied before. I mean, like, what has he lied about? Like, out of interest, just want to know.
The excuses for lies has been that somebody asked him, would you ever want to be in charge of DC Studios? And he goes, no, I would never want that job. He's like, but he has that job now. I'm like, that's not really a lie. That's fucking, that was taken a year ago. And he's like, yeah. I don't want that job. And the shit fucking changes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shit changes. You never know.
And so again, he contacted me to express his support about my choices. Again, people have said that's bullshit. I don't think that he's contacted him. I think James Gunn called him.
Man, people are always gonna have something to say. Like Zack can come
like,
out and say something.
Fucking difference does that make? What difference does it make?
It doesn't make any difference.
But guys,
it doesn't make a single
people just love drama. That's it.
Guys. I just spoke to Man of Steel Sharpening, and what I've heard from.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
It's all bullshit. All of it. And we're talking about fucking comic book movies here, right? And we're talking about this like it's like, oh, he's gone. Where'd he go?
No, you made him upset.
Oh, he left.
I just disappeared like right after I was saying like, but guys,
yeah, fucking Man of Steel. He literally said that he's sharpening Man of Steel. Like, no, he didn't.
That is so fucking stupid.
That's so fucking crazy. And that fucking idiot thought he was onto something. Anyway, so people were like, he contacted me. No bullshit. You must have called him. Zack would never call you. Do you know Zack? No, I've never talked to him in my life. It's like, does it really fucking matter? All he's telling you is that I've spoken to Zack Snyder. Oh, and he's happy building.
I'm not a fan of James Gunn, but I believe he's actually spoken to him.
I believe he has. And look, here's the thing. Do you think that he would put this out there and run the risk that Zack would be like, hey,
No,
I haven't spoken to you in over a year. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that?
Stupid. He can't.
And then you got people posting videos of Zack of every time that Zack said, I have not talked to Warner Brothers. I've received no call. And that was all before James Gunn, took control, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's okay to post videos that Zack Snyder hasn't heard from WB. But when those videos came out, he was full of shit. They said, oh, he's being coy. Of course he's talked to Warner Brothers. Supposedly he's had meetings with Zaslav to go over all his movies and how it fits into his universe. which everyone will say, "Oh, well, that was Ben Everett's, doing a social media experiment," even though some other idiots out there doubled down on that when it came out and said, "No, that was our scoop. You stole our scoop." And in reality, it wasn't even true. It was bullshit.
Jesus Christ.
What's up, Taladia? We're talking
Hey.
about your homie, how he's full of shit. But Taladia is a good guy, though. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's got it.
So he contacted me to express his support about my choices. Again, I think it's a little condescending, a little arrogant the way he wrote that. He could have just said, "Yeah, we had a conversation about some of the things that I'm working on. He's a great guy. He enjoys, he seems really happy with the massive world building he's doing." Okay. I don't think that there's much room to say, "Oh, he's fucking lying." Why would he fucking lie?
That just makes things worse.
And to say, "Oh, well, he's trying to derail the hashtag event." I don't think he's doing that at all.
Yeah.
What's the fucking point? So, lady, if you want a link, let me know and I'll send you one. But I don't get it. I don't get this idea that he's full of shit. I mean, Matt.
Man, you could go back to that BVS quote. It's like people hate what they don't understand, dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I understand there's a lot of people out there that have gotten really they're behind this hashtag event coming up on the 14th, and that's great. That's awesome. When fans come together to do things, I mean, that's great. I mean, I've been a part of a lot of these events, but it's just people were saying, "Oh, well, he's trying to derail the hashtag. He's afraid of the hashtag. He's afraid of us, the fans." I don't know what you're doing. I just think it's kind of like, dude, you don't have to do that. You don't have to steep to that level.
Yeah.
Just do your hashtag event and let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
And if nothing happens, you can't blame it on anyone else.
If nothing happens, nothing happens, right?
They're only hoping something happens because we got the Snyder cut. That's the only reason why they're going crazy.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
And that's as far as we're going to get with the hashtags. That's it. Our road's over.
It's over.
It's over. It ain't over till it's over.
I mean, look, I would have loved James Gunn just to continue on with whatever was already established with Affleck and all that.
Finish it, then start it. That would have been
that would have been great. But for whatever reason, he said, "You know what? We're not going to do it." Now, and that's the thing too, is that we don't even know. We have no actual proof that Ben Affleck was like, "Yeah, I want to be Batman and finish the story." However, Zack Snyder's not going to be here because he's busy, so we're going to have a new director do it. It's like, look. And then people were also saying, "Oh, well, Zack might come back and direct the movie." He could. He might. He might come back.
Years later when he's done with Rebel Moon.
Yeah, years later when he's done Rebel Moon. But I mean, even if he did, I mean, would you really want him to come back and direct a DC movie that is being overseen by James Gunn and a whole different regime?
No.
I would want him to do a movie where he has zero interference.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to happen. But that's what he's getting over at Netflix. So that's why he's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm fucking happy building worlds and doing fucking cool shit."
His world.
And so, look, I'm glad that James Gunn addressed this. Right?
Sure.
How you doing? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah,
I'm glad he addressed this because, I mean, look, people were like, "Oh, just mute the hashtag." I'm not going to mute the hashtag. I'm just going to go about my day.
Mute it, Andre. Mute it.
Mute it. If you don't like it, mute it. Go fuck yourself. It's like, look.
I don't even know how to mute it.
Or go fuck yourself. No, I'm not going to go muting shit. It is what it is. But, I mean, the 14th. Oh, what's up? We got Jared here. What's up, Jared?
Hey, what's up?
Hey!
Yo.
Can I have your trident in the background?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, the trident. Oh, yeah, I even noticed that.
I do have
Yeah, I
that.
never noticed.
That's great to hear, mate. I'm still awake at 6:40 a.m. in the UK.
And I got the hot toys.
Yeah, look at that. That's nice.
Damn. Yeah,
And-
you can send that to me,
I told Talady if he wants a link, I'll send him one, but it's up to him. I know it's early in the
My
morning over there.
boy. The latest my boy.
So what we're talking about is, we're talking about the latest tweets from James Gunn, obviously, when he talked about how he spoke to Zack Snyder. Now, look, if he's lying, right, which
There's
some
no
people
reason
have
for him to
accused,
lie.
there's no reason. But if he is lying, you really think he's like, you know what, I'm going to put this out there, and I'm just going to pretend that,
Because
I'm
the
just gonna
first thing
hope-
that's going to happen is that Zach is going to do a post on Twitter saying, "I never talked to him."
exactly.
I can't even stand in it.
If he said that, if he said, if he would have said, I haven't talked to him in over a few, 5 years or whatever,
Dawn of the Dead.
that would
Look.
destroy any kind of credibility James Gunn has. So there's no reason.
My whole thing is that, look, do the hashtag thing. If it works, great. I'm going to be supporting it because a bunch of my friends are doing it. So I'm like, okay, I'll indulge it because at this point, you literally never know, because there were people that were adamant that the Snyder Cut was never going to come out. So crazier stuff has happened. But I'm like, listen, no matter what happens, let me put it this way. No matter what, let's say it is possible that it happens down the line. These other movies have to be successful because guess what? DC has to make money in order to finance the Snyderverse in any form to the level that we would want. Because right now, Warner Brothers is canceling projects left and right because that's what they don't have is money. So that's why I keep telling people, even if you don't like these things, even if you don't like James Gunn, if you want the Snyderverse to continue, guess what? This is the way it's got to be.
Yeah, no, it's the point where, like, even if, I mean, look, just like you said, you have friends that are part of this, the hashtag, so you're going to support it. And I'm the same way. Like, there's people that I have a lot of respect for that, and because of that, I'm gonna be there to support them.
Plus, hey, I think it could happen down the line. So,
I hope it does happen.
Yeah. I'm the biggest Zack Snyder fan that you will probably find that at that open. Let me put it this way: I owe my channel to the Snyder Cut being released. So you know what? At this point, I will be the first to be on the high horse playing that 300 clip of them celebrating as the Persian fleet is destroyed. That'll be me.
That's it, man. But I mean, look, I just think when it comes down to it, just do your hashtag event and then see what happens. That's it. But but the excuses and, the rhetoric of, oh, well, he's lying, he's full of shit. I don't think he actually called him. I think Gunn called him. I think he's full of shit. It's pointless banter at this point.
Now, the one thing I will say, though, it could be that Gunn never brought up, hey, would you be interested in doing your stuff as an Elseworld story? It could be the conversation just never came up. That is possible.
Yeah, I mean, but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
And the thing is that, like, people are basing that argument on an assumption.
Yeah,
well, we never know. We don't know. And everyone's like, well, I think Zach should reply to this or give us some clarity. He doesn't owe you anything.
He doesn't. He's right. He's making a whole nother universe right now. So
yeah,
let the man create.
Project.
Let me put it this way. This guy dealt with this already, and we all saw the results of Zack Snyder dealing with Warner Brothers BS. Do you really want to drag him into that again and call yourselves fans of Snyder, supporters of Snyder? No, you really don't want to do that.
Exactly, dude. Matt, what do you think? I mean, is there any chance that the ZSJL will be sold to Netflix?
Not sold, licensed. That's very.
But the hashtag, key. And that's the thing too, is like why wasn't it changed early on? Like, hey, let's go with license.
Because here's why. I had someone in the movement on my show, and they explained it. Because
they already established it, right?
And people and license is a really easy word to misspell, so they just went with just put sell. That's easier to put down there.
I know, but it doesn't even.
I disagree. I would have just put. I would have just done license, but that's just me.
What's up, man?
My boy, my boy.
Yeah. So we're talking about what James Gunn said recently about the hashtag. Taladia, what is your take on this?
Well, my personal take is that it was the wrong hashtag. Firstly, because they had the and not just sell Snyderverse to Netflix. And his thing is, of course, like you know what, I get the fact that he's the head of DC, but you gotta respect people's opinions. And if Netflix buys, license out the Snyderverse, that's great. If they don't, at least we tried. That's the way I see it.
Right.
And
that's all you can do.
That's
Yeah.
the one thing I will say. James Gunn should not have said, "This is the wackiest hashtag I think I've seen so far." At least you
Yeah.
shouldn't have said that, because that kind of sounds like he's punching down to the fans, and sounds like it does sound a little bit like he's threatened on that one. The way he opens up that tweet, that's the one thing I will give these people.
I agree, 110%.
What is that noise?
That's Axel.
Axel, what are you eating, like a bag of chips?
Yeah, I got a bag of chips.
But my thing is this, though, is that like it's one thing to do that, right? But I mean, I don't like the claims that he's lying. I don't think he's actually talked to him. I don't think he's even asked him if he wanted to come back.
I mean, I've talked to Men of Steel. Wait, no, go on.
No.
I talk to Zach all the time. Trust me, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an interview. There was an interview done by somebody, and that Zack Snyder. I put it on. I retweeted it just now about Zack Snyder's interest in Netflix and whatnot.
I think it was by Lightcast by Matt Miranda, and he can go fuck himself. That guy. I know him very, very well. No, he can go fuck off. Yes, he was probably the only one to ask him that question, and he answered it. Now, obviously, that was, and again, that was done quite a while ago. My thing is this: is that like, do I think he would love to finish the story? Yes, I do, but I don't think he wants to do. He doesn't want any kind of interference that he got last time. And even when he made Zack Snyder Justice League, he got interference from the studio. We know all about that. So I don't think that he'd be able to even do it and have total creative freedom to do what he wanted to do, because now you're fucking with these IPs that these studios care a lot about. And so if he was given total freedom to do it, that'd be fucking awesome. But I just don't think it's going to happen.
Now, what could happen is that Jim Lee comes to him and said, "Hey, do you want to continue it as a comic book series?" That could very much happen.
Or animation.
You got to be careful with that, though, because a lot of fans out there, they don't want that. They don't want animation. They don't want comics. They want live action only. I'd be happy with a comic. I'd be happy with animation.
Here's the funny part, and I said it last night on my news show. If you look at animation with Netflix specifically, let's say they do animation. Have you seen the animation style for like Love, Death, and Robots, where it looks pretty much live action? It would pretty much be okay. So that's Henry. I got confused when I first saw Love, Death, and Robots, because I'm like, I thought this was animation, and then I was like, oh, this is realistic animation. Yeah, you could 100% make it look exceptionally well.
You can, and I would be open to an animated, Zack Snyder Justice League, 2 and 3 or however they want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, Axel.
I mean, even the Teen Titans Go
that was so
episode
good
with Zack Snyder, right? The animation style is there, literally as the blueprint, to literally say that if live action doesn't work for Netflix, they can still do animation, and that door is open for them.
But I think that the problem that we're having is that if you openly admit and say that you, like on social media, that you think that it'd be a great idea to do animation or a comic for Zach's story, that is almost like a taboo. Then you got people coming at you saying, "Oh, you're a fucking fake DC fan. It can only be live action only."
I guarantee you, if it comes back in animation or a comic, those people will be buying the animation.
Yes,
or the comic.
they will. They'll be
it's all just posturing, dude. We see this all the time on Twitter.
But with animation, I really don't think any of the actors, or you can't even get all of the actors to come back. I feel like they really
no. It'll be different voice actors.
And people would hate that.
Because all you'd have to do is because here's the good thing about animation. There's recording studios everywhere. Just tell Henry, Ben, Gal. Okay, so for like an afternoon, just show up here for like an afternoon and read lines. That's all you got to do.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and they can do what they did in the Teen Titans Go episode, right?
Yep.
Where the star
You
where
could
the
do that
style had-
style, or you could do the DC AMU style, or you could
Yeah.
just do you could just put the money in and do Love, Death, and Robot style and try.
Or
And
they could do the Polar Express.
Oh god.
no one wants that truck.
Yeah, I know.
Eric Blake was pushing that, and I was
Okay,
like,
yeah,
Eric,
yeah,
what are
no.
you
No, I got
doing?
it. They should do it in the animation style of those old Bratz movies. Remember those?
Oh god, or like the Rugrats.
yes, the
Uh,
Rugrats.
These are really cool, and these
Those
are
are great.
fan made. But I thought these were really cool though. These posters that were put out today.
Mhm.
Look at
Oh yeah, I saw this on
the
Twitter.
Batman
Yeah,
has the white eyes too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, look in the bottom right. It's rated R. Are you kidding me?
I know
No.
rated R. Yeah,
that
that's
ain't
not
being
gonna
rated
happen.
R.
That's not gonna happen. But those are cool though. But I mean, it's just I don't know. It's hard because I don't like this setup where it's like either you're with us or against us. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
Like, we're
It's
not some fucking tribe.
it's
All
like,
right.
look, people can have an opinion on anything. It could be an opinion on a
can't
movie.
get rid of
on-
negativity. Negativity will always be
Negativity
there.
is always going to be there, regardless.
Ultimately,
Suffering.
ultimately, the end goal is the same. We just want Zach's story to be finished. Now, the form of that could change, but ultimately, let's say it comes out in a comic. At least the story was done. And honestly, with the comic, it's less likely he gets studio interference.
Well, yeah,
Significantly less likely.
It would be the straight up story. It wouldn't be
I mean,
anything
the guy
else.
with the
Hit
ball
the
cap
storyboards.
is still there, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, remember, Jeff Johns does not have the influence at DC Comics that he used to have.
Yeah, that's
Right. So, the other thing we talked about a little bit ago before most of you guys showed up was that we talked about the Flash rumors that, George Clooney is supposedly.
Which James Gunn swiftly shot down.
Well, here's the thing though,
Yeah.
is that he shot it down, but I feel bad saying this, but he shot it down in the sense that he said he's not the Batman moving forward. Okay, so that doesn't exclude the fact that he could be a cameo, which it wouldn't surprise me if he did, because look, James Gunn likes to do wacky and kind of off the wall things. So to have him show up at the end of the movie instead of Michael Keaton, at least would at least put the idea out there that the Flash is somewhere lost in the multiverse and he does not know where he's at.
And that would also be a good way to get rid of Ezra Miller, because just say she's
Exactly.
lost the multiverse. There you go.
So then when you have your Superman legacy, when you have your Lanterns, you don't have to worry about where he's at because he's just kind of out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and you could
then-
have a Flash, but they can use Wally this time. That way they can essentially separate Barry Allen.
No,
from
Dr.
the universe.
Manhattan has killed him. Or, take him out of the timeline.
They don't have to do the Rebirth comic way of doing it.
I know.
Well,
yeah, what else?
but I mean, if you put him lost in the multiverse, right? And then
Mhm.
when you bring the Flash back, it could be a different actor, or it could be Ezra
So
Miller. It
it's-
doesn't matter.
They could do DC Flashpoint, where basically, it ends on the new ends on the new 52. You know how they did in Flashpoint animated movie, right?
Right.
And that's story wise where I
Makes
think
total
they're
sense.
going for, because they're going for younger actors. So immediately that says, okay, they're doing a reboot and younger
Yeah.
actors. Are they doing an actual new 52 but in live action? Which I'm like, hell yes, I love that universe.
Well, but here's the thing, though, is that you can easily kind of bring in like a Wally West, right?
Yeah, easily.
And then similar to what is it? Final Crisis, you can have where he meets up with Ezra Miller's Flash, who he thought was dead, but really he's been like kind of lost. Well, in Final Crisis, he's being chased by death. But I mean, in this case, he would find him lost in the multiverse, and that's kind of where he gets reintroduced to the DCU. And it could be a different actor. It doesn't have to be Ezra Miller at that point, because you're talking about years down the line. I mean, we're talking about Superman. It's not going to come out for another 3 years, somewhere around there.
If there's one thing we've learned with Warner Brothers is that plans change like that. So as far as we know, about half the stuff that James Gunn announced may not even get released.
Yeah.
And Matt had to bounce as the internet was cutting out. So thank you, Matt, for coming on here.
Ziva Fett's son.
Zero Fett's son, yes.
Yeah.
So I think this gives them the opportunity to basically bury Barry Allen in the multiverse and then bring him back whenever you want him to. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so let's do this film, and then this is when we'll bring him back. Okay. And then it's up to you if you want it to be Ezra Miller or just another actor altogether. What do you guys think about that?
That'd be cool. I'm down with that.
I'm up for that.
Because I mean,
I'm okay
ahead.
with the idea.
Well, because I mean,
I'm
at
okay
this
with the
point,
idea because. Sorry, go on.
go ahead.
You go first.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
When are we watching The Last of Us?
We're not gonna watch that. We were.
Oh.
So as I was saying, I think it's a good idea to to put Barry in a situation where he's lost in time type of thing, and bring a new actor in, for the new, let's say for the new DCU. Like we don't know when we're gonna get the second Flash film, right? Pretty much, right? Because the first one is Gods and Monsters, and it's got Superman as the main starting point, and then you got all these different other films. But I believe we're gonna get Dick Grayson Batman for
that would be quite a ballsy move.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me though, because that's where, because like the whole Grant Morrison Batman has Dick Grayson as Batman,
and the image he shared was Dick as Batman,
right? And so, and Batman is he's dead in the comics. He's dead because he died at the hands of Darkseid. In reality, he's lost in time.
That was such a weird story.
It's a weird story. Was it The Return of Bruce Wayne?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's a weird one.
He was a pirate. He was a.
And he started his own bat cult that would later come back to bite him in the ass in Dark Knight's Battle.
So the question is that are they going to go that route where Batman is missing and you have, Dick Grayson as Batman and you have a young Damian Wayne?
They could.
They could, but I think that's kind of hard to start like that.
But it would be a good way to separate it from Matt Reeves because he's doing Bruce Wayne, and then this one is a different Batman as Dick Grayson. Because you already said it's not starting from scratch. These characters have existed for a long time, so it's not like he's like, we have to show Robin, and then we have to show the second Robin, then we have to have Superboy Prime punch reality to bring the second Robin back. I know,
but see, like if you start out with Dick Grayson as Batman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have Damian there, and you'll have Alfred there. And do you have Tim Drake? And where is he at this point?
He's in my fan film.
Do you have Jason Todd as the Red Hood? Or has he not appeared yet in this universe? I thought for sure, I should say for sure, but my feeling was that they were going to start with Under the Red Hood, start with that.
Please,
you know what I mean?
Please do that eventually.
And then just have it where Damian is being introduced in that storyline. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of change it up a little bit.
And have villains like, Talia al Ghul or Nova.
But I think that
or Ra's al Ghul or
have villains other than Joker, in other words.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though, is that if you're going to insert a Damian Wayne,
that would be,
of course, Deathstroke would be
that would piss off a lot of Batfleck fans.
Yeah, particularly was played by Joe Manganiello.
I know you would.
Oh, I know, no,
but
everyone
traitor.
Everyone would be like, Batfleck invented.
No, but it's like. I mean, they did that in the animated films on the Batman. If you think about it.
True. So I have a question though. What happens, going back a little bit to our Snyder discussion, what happens if Snyder comes back and says, you know what, guys, I'm good. I'm going to move on from DC. I guarantee you all these people are going to start turning on Snyder now and going, you're a traitor. And I'm like,
you're a traitor to yourself.
I hope not. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I'd be like, this is
so stupid.
I can see the toxic fans going, Snyder's. I can see the very toxic people on Twitter going like, oh, you know what? Screw this. And they'll come up with so many bad things to say about Snyder.
They would call him a sellout. That's what they'd say. Really they'd say you're a sellout and you ditch your fans, all kinds of dumb shit.
These people treat it like we're actually in a war. And this is like the most moronic thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, when it comes to the politics
You see,
of within fandoms, it's ridiculous. So
I
that's
don't get-
why.
don't get politics involved. Gillis.
Oh, I don't think I told you this, Nickatina. I did a
What?
video, and I got a lot of backlash on Twitter from a lot of Superman purists because my video was arguing that the marriage to Lois was making the Superman story stale. Because it's pretty much like there's no stakes now because he's going to save Lois Lane. So I'm like, why should I care? But oh my gosh, you think like toxic Snyder fans are crazy?
Oh God, I'm sure
I had someone tell me to go F myself, and I'm like, if you, as we know by being fans of Man of Steel, if you deviate somehow from the Christopher Reeve Superman formula, they'll be like, oh, you're not really a Superman
Those fans
fan.
are fucking terrible.
Even though
Terrible.
arguably Superman comics haven't been Christopher Reeve since Crisis.
Well,
Bruh,
okay,
have you
so
seen the Facebook pages, those are the worst.
Yeah,
They always
So-
want to replace like the current Superman actor with the Christopher Reeve face. That's all they want to do.
yeah, they do. It's
It's weird.
it
They have
is
a-
weird.
Do Superman fans have a fetish of having underwear on the outside? That's what something else.
it looks so stupid.
Well, it's the classic look, and so some people like that classic
It's
look.
always
so-
been that way, but here's the thing.
I mean,
I was watching.
I mean-
I watched the movie
Go
on Netflix because I was bored. It's called "We Can Be Heroes." It's like a kiddie action movie on there, but they made a joke. Superheroes wear underwear on the outside of their pants, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so. It's
That-
true.
like,
It's
for
the
me-
dumbest thing in the world.
For me personally, I think we need to move on from the classic look, like the underwears on the outside, start
Evolve.
taking
That's what
modern
we need.
takes on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
So like more like bring the new 52. Bring the like. I would love to see a live action of the new 52 suit. We literally haven't had that on
Here's
a
the
high
other thing.
budget.
They'll say, oh, it's because it's like a reference to the old strongmen design. The difference is the strongmen were not wearing pants underneath the underwear. They were
Yeah.
just wearing the underwear. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Right.
yeah, that's why it looked a little more normal. If I go out on my street and like walk around with my underwear on the outside of my pants, I'm gonna get arrested.
Ah! I mean, yeah.
So is someone
I mean,
trying
I
to
would
arrest
love- I
Superman
would
for wearing
love
his
to-
underwear outside?
Okay, so
You see, I would love
real
to
quick,
see a new 52. Go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah,
go
that'd be
first.
cool too. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the collar, but I mean, something
Dude,
different, something modern.
That suit? You kidding me?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
right, too.
I would be
Bro,
down
did you
for it.
guys see no, like I assume you guys don't play Fortnite, but when they released the Superman skin, there was the new 52 skin, that suit, but with the underwear on the outside, which was a weird.
That's just the weirdest look.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that looked weird. That looked
The
weird.
weirdest look. Yeah.
my favorite are the people that actually say James Gunn saved the Justice League just by having their shadows there. Speaking of
More
rational
like
fans,
the
I
League
was
of
like,
Shadows.
what the hell?
I mean,
Yeah.
look, like, and I've said it before. Like, I applaud him for doing it, for going on a limb and putting the Justice League out there. But I mean, it's just you had no
It was a fucking
faces. It was just
waste
all
of time.
it was all fucked up, and and then to find out that they had a cyborg and a Batman that they took out, it's just like, oh fuck. So here's a tweet from Grace Randolph.
Oh boy.
And this one, she says, let's keep it 100% here, folks. I'm the only scooper who was correct by Henry Cavill didn't have a contract.
No, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
I broke the story that Keaton and Supergirl were removed
didn't.
from the end of the
You
Flash.
objectively didn't.
You did not, Grace.
I also broke the story that there was a new cameo with a character from a
Yeah, you
few
did.
decades ago.
Nope. No one ever
Yeah,
cites you.
Yeah.
Then, by
No.
triangulating my sources, I was able to correctly identify the cameo with a tease of narrowing it down to 3 people without actually ruining it. There is another still another new unrevealed
What?
cameo in the Flash. Good night. She's super. Okay, whatever. I don't give a fuck what she says. She's full of shit.
Me too. I don't even give a shit.
Yeah,
Why
she's
is she still
she-
relevant?
she's full of crap. She's
She is.
full of crap.
I wish
basically,
she could
because
block me.
she got caught out. She got caught out.
By
Couple
James
of hours
Gunn.
ago by James
I
Gunn.
hope that he calls her out more and goes, no, you don't know what you're talking about.
Just no.
Yeah.
Just mention Jessica Chastain. She'll block you.
Exactly.
Jessica Chastain has better sources than you do.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
if
she got
George
burnt,
Clooney,
But she
if
got burnt by
Clooney is
Henry
in the
Cavill.
movie,
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. She hated Henry Cavill. But if Clooney is in the movie, I'm gonna say it right now, he's gonna be a cameo at the end of the movie, and that is it. He is not your Batman moving
What about
forward.
Chris O'Donnell?
Plus, he said that playing Batman was like a big mistake in his career. He's not going to repeat that. Plus, he knows the fans don't like his Batman.
Well, here's the other thing too: is that do you think that if he makes a cameo at the end of the Flash, will he be in suit or just as Bruce Wayne?
I think
just
it's
as
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. Yeah. I
Because
think
they'll
that
need to make a new costume, like a new cowl.
If it's Clooney, it'll be Bruce Wayne. If it's Bale, it'll be in a suit, I reckon. And well, they can't do Val Kilmer because of his condition.
Yes, exactly. I was saying yesterday, I was like, it wouldn't surprise me. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if they tried to do one of those, like, Luke Skywalker style CGI, Christopher Reeve Superman or Adam West Batman, because you would know that, that's a cameo, but they're not going to continue on because, well, I'm sorry to say it, but they're dead. So it's kind of like,
no
it would just establish that he's somewhere else in the multiverse, and he does, and like he's got to figure. Basically, he's like, oh shit, I'm not home. It kind of like a quantum leap type of scenario where he's like, oh shit, where am I now? You know what I mean? And then you could do whatever you want with him at that point. Because I mean, they have to establish the multiverse, obviously. I mean, they have a whole Elseworlds division, which I don't think will ever be expanded upon outside of the Batman and Joker. I think after that they'll just fade away.
But here's what a lot of Snyder fans also don't realize going on to the multiverse. He's not erasing the Snyderverse. He's just saying we're just moving toward this other universe right here.
Yes.
That exists. We're just moving on to here. So it just leaves the potential that maybe down the line, stars align, they can do something. But it's still there.
It's
the
possible.
opportunity's still there.
It's possible, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But I mean,
I can see Bale coming back though. I really do think that.
Not as the main Batman, but as a cameo, absolutely.
As a cameo, possibly.
As a cameo,
although
because
go ahead.
Because he didn't get to finish off what he wanted to. He didn't want to get to finish off what he wanted to do in Dark Knight Rises, right? Because the studio meddled around with the story, if you think about it, because of Heath Ledger's situation. Yeah, and but like from them cutting out Michael Keaton and Joshua Kyle at the ending of the film, I think that's kind of a bad move on their part, because the actors did hard work for them. Now they're getting screwed over.
And why does young Flash always have that dumb grin on his face?
He does. Like,
he looks so stupid.
I just want to punch him. I'm sorry.
He always looks so cringe. It's like, come on, can you just look serious? I don't know. I mean,
he's like the representation of anti-Snyders. That's how I think.
It's just so cringe. And then I thought this is a good image of Keaton as Batman in his new suit.
I don't like it.
It just looks rather plain.
If it was a yellow belt, I would accept it, but it's not the yellow belt.
Yeah,
can you imagine we almost had Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne Batman?
God. I know, dude.
We almost had Negan as Thomas Wayne Batman.
We nearly had a Canadian Batman.
We could have had Lauren Cohen be Martha Wayne.
Joker.
I mean, there was so much. Yeah, Joker in the Flashpoint.
Henry Cavill. We could have had, Atlantis and.
But I have a theory, and I've talked about this on my show, and this is probably not going to happen. But this is just me throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, like Grace Randolph. But what it is that they're using this. The younger Superman is a temporary measure, and what they're going to end up doing is just using the young Superman movies to like retcon out Man of Steel and like reestablish, get rid of all the controversial stuff from Man of Steel, and then down the line, Cavill will be back.
I think that when you look at Superman Legacy, right, and he talks about how he took inspiration from All-Star Superman, right?
The best story to do it.
I mean, I think that it's going to be a film that contains different story beats from his life. Because that way he doesn't have to do a whole origin story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like that Spider-Man comic life story.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And so if he does something like that,
what I'm talking about.
because I mean, if it's Spider-Man, I mean Spider-Man, if it's
Spider-
Superman, if
That's
it's
the missing
Superman,
cameo.
I know that's the missing cameo. If it's
Uncle
Superman
Ben shows up
Legacy,
again.
if it's called Legacy, then to me, what is your legacy? Your legacy is your
John
your-
Kent.
Well, he
John
did
Kent, your child.
He did kind of say that. Don't say on my channel, Tevye will go nuts. But what we're saying is, but the way I took it is that because if you look at the way Gunn himself has described it, is like he's trying to balance his Kryptonian heritage / legacy with his human heritage. So that could be what it's talking about. Which legacy do you fully adopt and go full tilt on?
Right.
So
maybe
yeah, I agree.
that's what they're trying to do. Is they're trying to show you some of his past, but also kind of integrate, the whole John Kent, because you're already introducing Damian in Brave and the Bold. So, you're invigorating and you're introducing a younger set of superheroes as well, because, well, frankly, you kind of have to. And I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to get ahead of it, where Marvel didn't do that initially. They were building their roster, expanding their characters, but they weren't really focusing on how do we start to develop new characters when we reach our end game movie. And now they're starting to do that. But they didn't do it early on, so that these characters were already established by the time Endgame came around. Like, oh yeah, like we're gonna go with this Young Avengers, which he says they're not going to do, but I think they are. But
I think they are. I think he's just trying to save face.
Yeah, I mean everything.
Yeah,
the stars are essentially aligned for a Young Avengers, and it would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, but I was going to say as well, right? What is your thoughts like the Superman Legacy film as Brainiac as the villain? Because Jared was telling me via DMs about this. I think James Gunn posted it on some website or something. That apparently
Brainiac is the villain.
rumor
I'm like,
is
about damn time.
oh god.
But Brainiac.
I mean, I thought like I was talking about this, and I thought it'd be really cool to have a Superman movie where, if you did have Brainiac as your main villain, I think that when he arrives, when he presents himself, or when you are aware of the threat, Superman, flies out of Earth, into orbit, and then there's the watchtower floating, in orbit, and he goes there. He goes into the watchtower, and immediately you see like Hawkman and Hawkgirl and different characters that are already there. Because I think that you have to show that your universe, your DC universe, your Justice League is already established in this world. Because we've already seen so many different origin stories. Now it's kind of like, hey, let's just get to it. Let's just start the world where we have this new universe. And that's why originally I thought, maybe there was going to be a chance that Aquaman 2 and Blue Beetle and The Flash are just movies that come out this year, and then 3 years from now, who gives a fuck, right? But it sounds like he's trying to integrate these films into his DCU. Okay, so because if he didn't, you could have easily started with just bam, Superman, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, there's the Watchtower. Oh shit, there's more characters. Oh fuck, there's the Justice League's already established.
Here's why.
It's James Gunn's wife.
I'm playing every Justice League member, but the reason why I figure that's because again, if he wanted to like completely go away with it, he would have just completely recast anyone and not even offered Gal and Jason their roles in.
Right.
But what they could do for Wonder Woman, I had this theory, is that so there was a storyline in Rebirth where Wonder Woman was having conflicting memories from the different timelines. They could kind of do that for like a Wonder Woman movie where she has memories from the past before the reset, and they're conflicting with what she has now. So she has an identity crisis, if you will. I know
it could. But okay, so look,
Dr. Lighten.
Oh my gosh.
Well, okay, so you have the Paradise Lost series that THR, the Hollywood Reporter, said that takes place before the Wonder Woman movies. They
No, it
said
says
that.
before her birth. I
Well,
don't
no,
think it's taking place before the
no,
movies.
No, it literally said that in THR. It said the series takes place, a series that will take place before the Wonder Woman movies.
Oh
Now,
wow!
either he said that to them, or
the
this
man.
guy is making an assumption. Now, if that was said, then you could say, okay, well, maybe they're going to keep Gal, right? Maybe she sticks around.
Yes, please.
I think that for one, he doesn't want to let you know that he's going to recast a new Wonder Woman, because why? She's going to be in Shazam, and she's supposedly going to be in the Flash, right? So
Yeah,
if you
there's
start
Funko Pop.
saying oh, we're going to recast her, then all of a sudden to me it sort of lessens the value of having her in these movies, because you're like, oh fuck, now I just now when you see her in Shazam, you'll be like, oh, there's Wonder Woman, I guess not the real one anymore, so this is kind of weird. So I think that's why he hasn't come out and said it yet. So I think by doing a Paradise Lost, what does that do, right? That allows you to essentially recast Queen Hippolyta. You wouldn't use what's her name?
Connie Nielsen.
Connie
Yeah,
Nielsen.
you wouldn't use Connie Nielsen, and you would recast all the Amazons, right? I mean, frankly, there's only a few of them that actually were memorable. They did a great job, the actors, I'm saying, there's
Some of them are
Robin
dead.
Wright's character.
Can we actually have a comics accurate Artemis? That'd be
I like
appreciative.
that Artemis. I like that Artemis.
No, but she is clearly not the comic. But the comic book Artemis is way more interesting.
So I think you'll get more of that.
And they could do Nebula as well.
They
Nebula.
could. They
could do because they never did it in the Snyder cut, right? We never got to see that from the Amazon. But I if they are going to recast Gal Gadot, I think the backlash will be really big, more bigger.
You thought the Cavill backlash was big? You thought the Cavill
backlash because you're replacing like an Israeli woman with probably just another white chick,
and you're replacing a female icon now.
It depends, and the same thing goes for when it comes to Supergirl.
I think they're gonna recast Kaya. I think she's only gonna be in the Flash.
Look at the recent comments.
I would actually agree with Jared. I think, like, if you've read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, I don't see Sasha Kaye being that Supergirl. I don't.
No, I think that James Gunn is going to try and make these people as comic accurate as possible. And let's face it, Sasha Kaye does not look like Supergirl from the comics.
I mean, she does look like the Injustice.
The Injustice, but that's not the right image you want for Supergirl. And that was an imaginary Supergirl.
Right. And so if you establish that she's in a different universe altogether, then you can kind of just leave her there and not bring her, not have her show up at the end of the Flash. She's over there. Maybe if you have a crisis event, she shows up and helps out. Hey, there she is. But so just the One of Tomorrow, to me, when I was reading that, I did not feel like that could have been Sasha Kaye. Now, granted, I've never seen her really act, but it felt like, okay, this Supergirl has quite the personality that I don't see Sasha Kaye being able to portray that. That's just me. But if he does that, right? If he says, okay, I'm going to recast a new Supergirl. Oh, my dog is at the door. Who's blonde and blonde hair, white girl. Will he catch backlash for that?
No,
even if it's more comic accurate.
I don't think so, because she wasn't as around as long as Gal. She didn't have the cultural impact that Gal's Wonder Woman had. Plus, ultimately, here's the thing: it's a bigger deal if you recast Wonder Woman than Supergirl.
That is true.
That's just the way it works. On the hierarchy of comic book characters, it's Wonder Woman, Supergirl. That's just the way it works. I'm sorry that Supergirl is not as well known as Wonder Woman. That's why I think he'll get some backlash from people that only like that Sasha from her stands. But that's it. I don't think he would get as much backlash as he would if he recast Gal.
No, agreed. I would totally agree. In the story one of tomorrow, I mean, it's like Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, they're fucking traveling through space. They're on space freighters going to different planets. I can easily see why James Gunn, when he read the series, he was like, "Oh, this is it. This is the one I'm going to do." Because it feels like it's right down his wheelhouse. I was like, "This is like perfect." She swears, you know what I mean? Like she, so
Yeah.
and
Still be
I
making poop
agree.
jokes.
Yeah, I agree with Jared though. I think that if you recast Supergirl down the line, I don't think you get as big of a backlash as you would for Wonder Woman. But here's the thing. Okay, so what I was saying about Paradise Lost is since it is a prequel series, right? You would likely recast all those characters, right? And then that opens the door for you to say, okay, now that we've recast all these characters, we're going to recast Wonder Woman. Because if you bring back Gal, but you're not using the same actors from, who were in her movies, is it kind of weird? You know what I mean? Is it like, well, are they eight?
But here's the thing: how much are the Amazons going to play into like a Wonder Woman movie? Because it could be she's just on in man's world doing JL stuff. Because when you think about it, in a lot of the comics, she's not on Themyscira that much. So I don't think it would make that much of a difference. Plus, if those movies are canon, she can't go back to Themyscira. So why would that be any issue?
I mean, why wouldn't you want to?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that if you're gonna have a show, I would be surprised if he brought in Connie Nielsen, he brought in Robin Wright, and he brought in these actresses that were in her movie. I'd be shocked because they're expensive and they're older. No offense, but they're older.
How old is too old?
But here's the thing: they wouldn't necessarily be doing that many like physical stunts. It's just hanging out and being queenly,
right? But again, we're talking about bringing back actors. And I hate to say this, but you're bringing back actors that Zack Snyder cast, right? If you're casting all new actors and actresses for this, then you can use that as a transition to your new Wonder Woman.
The problem with that is that then he gets like, because let's say he recast them again, he's always going to have that backlash. Okay, if they're being recast, why haven't you recasted like Peacemaker or Amanda Waller or anyone like this? Any of your characters?
I mean, why even recast Henry Cavill?
Well, there was no reason to do that. Absolutely, under any circumstances.
No, I agree. I think the only, not the only reason, but I would imagine a reason why he recast him was
he doesn't like him. Confirmed.
He wanted to do his own Superman story and that interfere with the Superman story that he already had pretty much written.
Well, I think that is definitely. But it could also have been a case where he has a conversation with him, tells him this is what I'm going to do with Superman, and Cavill says, "Well, I don't really want to do that. I wanted to do more of this.
I don't want to dance in my underwear."
You know what I mean? Like I would rather do this with the character, and not to mention, look, what is the one thing that he's wanted? He's wanted control over what the character does and what how the character is portrayed. And I don't think that James Gunn wanted to give him that. He was like, "No, I'm not going to give you that. Like, I'm going to be in control of the character." And so he probably said, "Well, then I'm not interested." Then, not in that. I'm just paraphrasing, obviously, but I think that was probably one of the bigger issues was that he wants creative say over what happens with Superman, and I think that he's said that for years now. That's one of the things that he wants, and I don't see James Gunn handing that over, saying, "Okay, yeah, I'll give you that." I don't think so, and so that's why I think he immediately came out and said, he will. Henry Cavill is not the Superman moving forward.
But I will say it was a bad way to phrase that tweet when he follows that up immediately with, "But I'm writing my own Superman movie as well." That was the worst way to phrase it.
Man.
That was literally the worst way to phrase that, to do that.
Also with him saying, like, Cavill has been saying for years he wants a hopeful story to tell.
Yeah.
Right? And he's been saying that, and now he couldn't do it. James Gunn said on Twitter, "Oh, I'm not going to do a Superman film. next minute later you find out he is writing a Superman film. It's like you're contradicting yourself.
Just change the
Literally.
story so Superman's not younger, but you can still do the Superman that is hopeful and everything. You
Yeah.
can still fit
If
him
I'm
in there.
being like to be honest, if I'm being brought on for Marvel as the head, get that out of my sight. That's disgusting. If I'm being brought on to Marvel, I'm gonna want to reboot, and yeah, there's gonna be some people who are MCU fans are gonna be like, you fucking suck, you fucking.
I mean, this is obviously fan art of
AI
Wolfgang and Novogratz.
I kind of see it.
The only
It's not-
problem with him is that if you ever hear him talk, he's like, "Hey, what's that, man?" He has a really high pitched voice.
Oh
And I was
no!
like, "Man, I don't know
No,
about
no.
this.
No.
I don't know.
What's the
I
problem
don't
about
know."
Cavill? He sounded like Superman.
Yes, he's like
Literally.
Superman.
It wouldn't surprise me if we find out that he is actually Superman who fell through a portal. Somehow
that?
that wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, here.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm trying to find.
The other image, the other concept. What's it called?
No,
Concept art?
I want to show you guys his voice. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
oh boy.
Hold on. Let me find it. Okay, here it is. Right here.
I'm not ready for this.
No, you know what? Hold on. I gotta.
Just
I
like
gotta
Rebel Moon, I'm not ready for this. Jesus Christ.
yeah,
I
you're
can't
not
wait
ready
for
for
that
this.
movie.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me share audio. Okay, here we go. So this is what he
Yeah.
sounds like. And when I heard this is just him talking, right?
Oh
Good
god.
looking guy, you know. When I heard him talk, I was like, "Oh God, I don't know. Maybe it was just me." Here we go.
For romance, have you ever had
Oh,
one that kind
that's
of
a
inspired
bad
you to
one.
play your role?
What's interesting, the part I play Foster, I didn't really relate to personally, but
But you know what I mean?
No, no,
Oh,
he can't play.
no,
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 Double
no.
Nova. Double
no.
Nova with someone else. No. Get that
no.
out of here.
kind of have a lot of options in terms of women.
I love
You
this
know what I
project
mean?
technically.
No.
He sounds like a young teenager.
He sounds
He
like a 12.
does.
He sounds like John Kent.
Oh,
No,
no,
don't
no,
mention John Kent because you bring heavier here.
Yeah, he'll show up. In case you're wondering what we're talking about, Andre, is that there's this guy that hangs out on our channel that whenever you say Super Sons, he will show up within 10 minutes.
Oh God.
And he'll talk about Super Sun done
He's
stuff.
like Rumple Foreskin. He will show up once you hear his. No, Rumple Steelskin. Why did I say foreskin? Yeah, he will show up like. I fucked that up. He will show up
Nice, Andre. I mean,
What?
I mean, actually, he goes for Rumple Foreskin. Nice.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but-
Yes, that up.
and then here's Henry Cavill.
And all the better for it.
Damn, look at her. She's hot.
What's the S stand for?
See the scene.
Yeah, it's like he's like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
But I mean, yeah, I mean he's Superman.
He
And
is awesome.
And the thing about it is that the other part that was kind of like a betrayal was that James Gunn said, I'm going to keep what works and get rid of what doesn't. So I'm like, well, Henry Cavill clearly works. Literally the one thing that unites DC fans is that we like Henry Cavill as Superman. And then
But
you
you
tell
know-
people, no.
But you know what worries me is James Gunn trying to control gaming division too.
Yeah, I'm
Because-
not.
You're gonna try and factor in games into your shared
The
universe. That's
MCU
a
for me.
horrible
that.
idea.
Fuck
Yeah,
that.
no, like it's not gonna work out for him
You kind of.
because, like, you got the Arkham verse, you've got the Injustice universe, you've got the Gotham Knight universe, and you're trying to say,
Yeah,
well,
I don't know what he's gonna do with the whole gaming aspect. I mean, unless you kind of want to reboot the whole, because like you have the Suicide Squad kill the Justice League,
Yeah.
and
Which I don't think we're gonna get any more at Arkham games because
No,
sadly,
no,
I think honestly, I
Reason
think
to.
after this game comes out, I think
think
they're gonna regroup and say, okay, these are the storylines that we need these games to follow. Start on them now.
Well-
I mean, because it takes a while to make these games. You can't just be like, hey, knock this out
last
in a
4
month.
years.
Well,
yeah, about
what I
Yeah.
could
5
see
years.
is that if those leaks about Suicide Squad killed the Justice League are right about the story and everything, it ends on a flashpoint. So that's like an
Really?
excellent way to just reboot. It ends on Wonder Woman saying we have to enact the Flashpoint protocols. Then you can have like a DLC that basically is Wonder Woman and Flash and like 2 other Justice League members. You play as them and you just enact the Flashpoint protocols. And then you reboot the universe. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Interesting.
But I don't think that's going to be the case because because the devs straight up have said, oh, this isn't true, and because they have to say that, and then the second thing is as well, they have to hit this game out the park, because if this game does not hit out the park, then you can classify Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Kill the Justice League as a flop, just like Gotham Knights was. Like Gotham Knights was a flop, and they haven't done DLC since Heroic Assault, and they're now focusing on a single player game, which I've heard the front runner for that game is Superman.
Yes, please. Can we get a good Superman game? Superman
I've been
Returns.
told.
Say what you want about the movie. Superman Returns actually had a pretty dope tie-in game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to make a good Superman game, and there's been like concepts that fans have made on using like Real Engine.
Unreal Engine,
yeah,
Engine 5, yeah,
and they just fly around. There's no one like there's
I
nothing to do.
People immediately have you noticed that whenever anyone has the opportunity to play a Superman, they instantly turn into Homelander.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
You start killing everybody. Ah,
GTA 5 mods.
Yeah, exactly, right. So we'll see how it goes. Now, let me ask you guys: have you guys watched The Last of Us?
I've watched.
I thought we were doing a watch party.
I've watched.
No, I told you we were going to watch it.
Because it said in one of your tweets, you said, "Oh, we got to do a watch party."
Yeah, and that was last night, and then I got too tired and I fell asleep, and I was like,
"And
hey,
you watched it without us?" Okay.
I've watched the first 3. I've watched episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. Well, I'm good thing I had it all over my thumbnail, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so
I'm good.
No, it's all good. So going back to what we're just talking about, yeah, I think that if they found a way, what the fuck is that? If they found a way, if it does have a flashpoint at the end of the game, that'd be a good way to kind of restart that whole gaming universe. Because you got to figure that they already have the storylines that they at least one storyline for a game that they want made.
Here's the thing that they have to end the Arkham universe because they can't have another Batman game.
Yeah, they can't do another Batman game because they can't use Kevin Conroy.
Don't say it.
Well, I mean, they didn't use him in Arkham Origins, but then again, he was supposed to be younger than anyway. So I mean,
yeah, they could use Roger Craig Smith and filler between Arkham Origins and Asylum. That could work.
But I think now it's to a point where you just have to reboot that whole Batman Arkham universe. It's done. If you have another one, you're just like what are we doing here? What the fuck is that?
What is that, Drogo?
Look at that. I get a lot of cat videos.
You always bring up really weird stuff on stream, dude.
Yeah,
you do. Here we go. Okay, so with that being said, look, if you're going to participate in the hashtag event, do it. And let's see what happens, right?
Because it could happen. It could legitimately happen.
Yeah. Anything is possible.
Not anything, but
Well, almost anything is possible. So we'll see how that turns out.
Axel, you gotta believe.
You gotta believe.
Well, I believe in truth.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
Cutie, why did you say that name clip?
I know, right?
Why did you say that name?
Let's get out of here with that shit. But that's gonna do it for the show, you guys. I want to thank Taladia. I want to thank Jared. I want to thank Axel for coming out. Hopefully it's not too loud. Whenever I started back, everyone's like, "Oh, it's too loud." But look, we'll see how everything works out. Is Clooney gonna be in bet with
Axel?
It's Dobby. Is Clooney gonna be in the Flash? I think if he is, it's gonna be a cameo at the end, and that's it. You're not going to get him as your mainstream.
He just
Batman
waves goodbye as the camera pans out.
This is George Clooney, and you're watching the Disney Channel.
Brought to you by the Bat Credit Card.
The Bat Credit Card, exactly. The Flash trailer comes out tomorrow for the Super Bowl.
Yay!
Super Bowl.
Yay!
Oh, and Transformers Beast.
James Gunn just tweeted right now, which is kind of crazy.
What? What did he say? Did he say
about Guardians of the Galaxy?
Did he mention me?
Yeah, he
Snyderverse. Well, guys, the Snyderverse is just confirmed.
He just tweeted out and said, and tuned into the Nickatina show. Like, all right.
Yeah. Wait, no, he didn't.
Subscribe.
What's interesting is that he tweeted about Guardians of the Galaxy, but what you don't realize that links to the Snyderverse because Zach was going to bring in the Guardians of the Galaxy into the Snyderverse, so he did confirm that the Snyderverse are coming back.
It's a
If
crossover
they ever make
event.
Man of Steel 2, it should be called Man of Steel Sharpened.
Don't forget Super Bowl tomorrow, Flash trailer, Transformers trailer as well.
Yes.
Also, the Marvels might be coming out.
Oh my gosh! Can we just get rid of Brie Larson as Captain Marvel already?
She's not that bad.
That's what
well,
he
the
said.
character is just crappy.
Oh yeah, I mean that's how the character is.
He says, "Congrats to our wonderful makeup team for Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special." All these people,
Which was good, by the way.
I liked it. I thought it was good. But that's it.
I can't believe James
That's all we
Gunn's
got.
Superman is becoming a reality.
It's coming in reality.
The Superman movie could be actually pretty good because if you hear his statements on it, he gets the character.
Right, but everyone's like, I don't want James Gunn. I don't want that. He's not going anywhere, unfortunately. So we just
They're
have
not
wait
going to
and see.
fire. They're not going to
make
hashtag
some-
fire James Gunn.
People are gonna make so many comparisons to like goddamn like Snyder's Man of Steel and shit. That's
We'll see what happens, man.
Watch him make an actual make a Superman movie that's basically Man of Steel, and watch the people actually like it now because it doesn't have Snyder's name on it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like whenever a fan on Twitter or some shit like says, "Oh, this is what I want my Superman movie to be," it's pretty much just Man of Steel. Like their summary is pretty much just Man of Steel.
Watch, he even snaps someone's neck at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Everyone's gonna be like, that is my
No,
Superman.
this time he heat visions through the dude's face like the Homelander.
No, he does lobotomize them.
There was someone arguing, by the way, once in the comments section of like a YouTube video that was showing the Superman entrance in the Snyder Cut, which was fantastic. But they're like, he was too brutal to Steppenwolf, and I'm like, can't you just enjoy a badass scene?
Destroy the world?
Can't you just enjoy a badass scene? And Superman has so few.
Exactly. All right, guys, that's it for the show. Real
also,
quick,
there is this
go around the
other thing.
horn. Hold on, Axel. Go around the horn. Axel, where can they find you?
You can find me at Droga52. Don't play a clip, I swear to fucking God. You can find me at Droga52. You can find me on Twitter via Axel R. Droga.
Only because you asked. You had to bring it up, so I had to. Jared, where can they find you?
You can find me at Comics League on YouTube, Comics League JT on Twitter, Comics League 2020 on Instagram, where we'll be talking about all the craziness as it comes out.
Yes.
And Taladia.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Taladia Plays, also on YouTube. You can find me there. I do a show as well. I have Jared, my boy Jared, on the show as well, where we cover everything DC. So stay tuned in because we're going to be talking about the Flash trailer next week.
Oh, it's going to be
weekend.
good. It's going to be good. Oh, those are red undies right there.
Red undies. All right, there we go.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.